My name is Tiffany, and I'm so excited to be here today and to introduce this incredible cast. So when I introduce people, cheer really, really loud to make everyone feel very appreciated for joining us today.
Hello there.
Hello. You guys are so loud and lively. Amazing.
I have a good feeling about this.
This is an incredible audience, and I am just excited as all of them to be here with you today, so thanks for joining us. When you started working on the show 18 years ago, what was your relationship to...
So...
18 years?
I don't remember that.
What was your relationship to Star Wars? Daniel, you had a different one, I think, than everyone else's, but tell us about your Star Wars origin stories.
Oh, well, I started a long time ago in a galaxy very far, far away. I was 13 when I got into the franchise of Star Wars, and I was very honored to be one of only 2 kids to be in the prequels. So once it had gone and done, I thought maybe that might be the end of my acting Star Wars career. And one day I get a call from Lucasfilm saying that George Lucas has called me back by name, and I guess he walked in the storyboard room, said I want Boba Fett in the Clone Wars, and called Daniel Logan. And I wondered who the hell was Daniel Logan. Well, it's me. So I managed to come back and reprise Boba in the Clone Wars.
Sorry, we're discussing, yes.
These are private
Anakin was
Jedi
confused why Hera isn't here, and I said, no, that's a different show.
I thought it was a Rebels and Clone Wars thing.
Oh.
Okay.
Light side, dark side over there. Well, no, kind of, yeah. Hello, Ventress.
Hello, darling.
Nika, how about your origin story?
Well, I was like every kid in the 70s, you know, who I had 3 brothers who were obsessed with Star Wars, and I loved Star Wars, but I can't say that it was an obsession for me like it was for some other people. It was just very much part of my life. I'm just saying when I was young, because I'm just being honest, because we're up on stage with some like true, like full-on nerd Star Wars people that can
Dee Bradley
answer
Baker.
any questions that you have. And I'm one of those people that you ask me a question and I'm like, but I love Star Wars like everybody else. It was just a very large part of my childhood, but I'm just being thoroughly honest.
There's no gatekeeping here.
Yeah, I'm you know, just because anyway, so back in the day, 18 years ago, when I got the call to come and audition for this part, that's when I became obsessed, because like every part of me knew that I needed to be this person, Asajj Ventress, that I wanted to create this character that would be memorable. And they made me work for it. I mean, I think I had like, I don't know how many callbacks I had for the part. And when I finally got it, I was like, wow, I get to be part of this incredible thing. I get to be a part of history. And so that's what it was for me. Just like utter gratitude that I could be part of this enormous universe that people love. And it has changed the trajectory of my life. And that is just the truth. The love that has come from that universe, all of you guys, has literally changed the trajectory of my life. And I'm not even, you know, Ventress is, you know, she gets to sprinkle in, you know, over the years, unlike some people that play 80,000 of them. But it still has changed my life in so many incredible ways and continues to do so. So that's what it is for me.
I started Star Wars as a kid. I think I saw it when I was about 13. I read the novel. I saw that there was a great spread in Time magazine about it. I was very excited before it came out. And then once it came out, then of course I read an author named Alan Dean Foster wrote, I'm sure many of you, probably most everyone here is familiar with that, which was kind of a pitch for a possible sequel. Because I was like, God, I hope there's another one of these. Let's do another one of these. Come on, let's do another one. I had the double album, of course, of John Williams' brilliant music. And it bothered me, the little nerd that I was, that the music was not in the sequence that it was in the movies. Because, as some of you may know, my parents made me a Jawa costume, and I spent all summer, when they re-released Star Wars, as a Jawa. And so I watched Star Wars over and over and over again. So I knew the music, the sequence, by heart. And so I went through, I have a picture of it still, where I went through and I rearranged the music on the two albums so that it would be sequential as it would be played in the movie, and then I recorded. I mean, I was a real nerd. I was very much a nerd. I drew a cantina scene with creatures and monsters, my own aliens, because I wanted to make aliens. I wanted to send it to George Lucas. I didn't know where to send that. I was in Greeley, Colorado. I had no idea. And so I was very enthusiastic about Star Wars when I was a kid, is what I'm trying to say. And so it's very, very exciting to be smack dab in the middle of it now, and to not just be in it, but to see how beautiful the fulfillment of that germ of a brilliant idea is, and how it's playing out these days for you very, very lucky fans.
Yeah, we are.
But Dee, this is like pre-cosplay, and your Jawa was amazing. Like, it was like film quality Jawa. You had the eyes glowing just right.
It was a good-looking Jawa. My mom and dad put it together. My mom, I don't know how she figured that out, but I don't know if I said, Mama, make me a Jawa, I'd wear it to the high school dance, and nobody would dance with me. So it's like, what is that?
Now.
Who's in there? I'm not dancing with that. But I didn't care, because I get to just be there with my little glowing eyes and be a Jawa.
Did you do the Houdini?
Yeah, that didn't help. I mean, it doesn't help at all.
That is an incredible story. How about you, Ashley?
Well, I was kind of like Nika. I grew up with Star Wars early on, watched it on VHS, and fell in love with R2-D2. Of course I loved Princess Leia, but, it wasn't an obsession like it is now. Now it is a part of my life. It's changed my life, to Nika's point. And, I like to think that part of that is because I didn't have a character like Ahsoka Tano growing up. On the playground, I was always the odd kid. I always beat to my own drum. The rest of the girls were playing Princess and My Little Pony, and I just didn't want to do that. And so I wanted to play Star Wars. I wanted to play, I was the only girl on the baseball team. And, there wasn't a girl character that had a lightsaber in her hands on a weekly basis like Ahsoka was. And so when I was cast as Ahsoka, I knew that she was going to be a game changer. I knew that for little girls in the future generations growing up, how important it was to have a character like Ahsoka for them to look up to. And so that's why I poured myself into this character. And because I knew that it was more than just a part, that this was going to be a character that was going to change lives, and especially girls, bring a lot of girls into the franchise, and not only girls, but I mean, it's wildly exceeded my expectations how Ahsoka has changed everyone's life, and that's why I say Ahsoka lives in all of us now. So yes, now I am obsessed. My husband knows it is a part of our life, it's our lifestyle, but it's definitely changed over time.
And this is the part where we say, but that's because of you, Ashley, and what you did, right? And her universe. When we we would do Star Wars weekends out at Disney World, and you came out there and you said, like, there's no clothing for girls. And so now, look at it. It's everywhere. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. So.
You are very kind.
Well, thank you, but you're very wonderful. Ahsoka's my favorite character. I've always been very vocal about that.
He has,
Yeah.
but getting to learn
Oh, yes.
voiceover under this guy
Now my head's gonna
and
explode.
those people over there, I mean, and Matt too, he's pretty talented.
He's easy on the eyes. Well, so Dee and I are the old dudes in the room. Because we were born when Star Wars came out, and so I saw Star Wars when I was 7 years old at a drive-in theater in San Jose, California, and it changed my life. And I always wanted to be Han Solo. I didn't know I'd be that old wizard in the desert. But now I am, I guess. I got the white beard, and so. When I auditioned, originally it was for the micro series of the Clone Wars. Y'all know the micro series? That was over 20 years ago. And now I've been Obi-Wan ever since. And I've met Ewan McGregor once, for anybody who wants to know, okay? Because that always comes up. One time at Celebration London this last year, and it was at a photo op. And I was basically just like everybody else at the photo op. And it was like, okay, hi, very good. Hi, I'm James. Oh, wait. Okay, good. I'm James. I play. Okay, they got it. I'm gone now. And that's it. But he was very nice. He didn't say hello there, but I said hello there. And I've just been so blessed to be able to work with these amazing people. The three of us get to go all over the place together, so it's wonderful to have those three on the dark side over there. Although, Dee, you're not on the dark side. But, you're just crazy. How many of you have had photo ops with us? How crazy are your pictures with Dee Bradley Baker? You've got to get a picture with Dee Bradley Baker. It's the best experience in your life. He does the craziest, weirdest things. And then, like, sometimes he goes right on the floor and puts his face right on the floor. But Dee, do you know how many people have been on that floor? And Dee,
I'm defective and effective.
My favorite photo op was we're standing there, and then literally Dee jumps. He just jumps across the room, and he's literally flying midair in someone's photo op. It's the best.
I heard, but it was a good picture.
all right, chosen one.
Yeah, for me, I didn't really grow up with Star Wars. I think I watched maybe Attack of the Clones in my room when I was, I think, maybe 13 or something. I knew pop culture, I knew Darth Vader, I knew the characters, but I didn't really know how it all worked. So when I got the audition for Star Wars, they didn't tell me anything. I didn't know I was auditioning for Anakin. They didn't tell me that. Deke Starkiller is who they told me I was auditioning for. Not much out there at that time of Deke Starkiller. So yeah, I auditioned. Dave just said, do whatever you think Han Solo and Luke together kind of sounds like. So I did it. I got hired, and then I was up at the ranch, met George, and it's probably a good thing that I wasn't a nerd for Star Wars like I am now, because I probably wouldn't have been able to talk to him. Because I walked in his office and he goes, Anakin, and then we had a conversation about Anakin and kind of how he saw the Clone Wars Anakin in a different season of his life. So, yeah, so I'm kind of glad that was my experience with Star Wars prior to that, because I wouldn't have been able to do it. But yeah, that's where it started for me. And I too, it's life for me now too. I've got a dog named Ahsoka. I had clone troopers at my wedding. My wife, one of her vows was, "You're the Obi Wan for me." Yeah, my groom cake or whatever was a Death Star. So it keeps going. So I'm in deep.
I think the takeaway from that is, even if you don't start off as a Star Wars fan, you will end up as one. So one of the big narratives around Clone Wars is you guys came back, right, to finish your story.
We never thought that would happen. Dave Filoni didn't think that would happen. Nobody thought that would happen.
That's incredible. I would love to hear like how you found out, what you felt like, what was that whole process for you?
Well, to first, I think you should start it just with saying how it like they said, the creative pipeline is broken, and we're done. We're not going to finish the Clone Wars. We had recorded into I think 8 seasons, but they were well earlier than that in finishing anything, and they're just like, we're just going to maybe finish up what's pretty much done right now, but that's it, and we're done. And they had this big rap party, which I remember was very sad. I mean,
sad.
Everybody who's involved with this, they're top tier people who invested their lives and relocated themselves so they could be in that area up there in Marin County to make it. And it was like, well, we're all going home, and it's never to happen again, and it's done. It was really sad. It was really.
And then you went to In-N-Out and you got an order number, right? What was
Right,
it?
the order number 66. It's like, I got to take a picture of this. This is a good one. Yeah, but Dave Filoni, for me, we were up promoting Rebels, and as you know, they brought back a few of the clones in there. And Dave Filoni just pulled me aside and said, "Dave, come over here. I want to tell you that. Hey, we're gonna finish the Clone Wars, but you can't tell anybody. You know, you're in the trust tree. You can't defy the trust tree, so don't tell anybody." So I said, "That's amazing. That's the best thing I've ever heard." And I got back in the car and I immediately texted Ahsoka.
As did I when I found out. I texted Ashley. I was like, have you heard anything weird lately? She seems to be in the know with things.
Yeah,
So.
Well, I clearly wasn't. I knew that Dee was up with the Rebels. I knew he was with Dave. And so when he texted me, I thought they were punking me. And y'all gotta understand, like, being a part of the Star Wars universe, it's so top secret that we have to sign our life away in confidentiality.
That's why I was sidestepping my question to you.
I know, and I was like,
I didn't
so
want to get in
careful.
trouble.
I called you, but he told me, and I was like, there's no way. They're waiting to see, like, you know, what I do. But Dee was like, no, you know, what you said, like,
What did I say, we're
12
finishing it?
episodes.
Or
Yeah, finishing Clone Wars, you know, 8 episodes or 12 episodes, we're coming back. So I did get my hopes up, but I didn't believe it until, honestly, I heard it from Dave. And then I remember you texted me, and I was like, I think so? I think we're coming back? And because both of our agents had called us. So finally I was like kind of getting mad. And I called Dave.
Snippy.
I did. I was getting snippy. And literally, I'll never forget it. I called Dave and I was like, do you have something to tell me? That's exactly what I told him. And he goes, why? And I said, I think you have something to tell me. And sure enough, he was like, well, I didn't want you to hear it from your agent. And I was like, well, we did. And that's exciting, but okay, I guess now it's real.
This sounds very Hollywood. Tom Kane and Matthew Woods, and of course General Grievous. The three of us were at an ADR session for the Han Solo movie. And Tom says, I'm hearing that we're coming back. And so we all look to Matt, because Matt works at Skywalker Sound. And he's like, yeah, I'm hearing something, I don't know. And then that day I got home and there was a call from my agent. So, and then I think I called you guys, but I was way late to the party at that point. So, yeah. And then the San Diego Comic-Con, where y'all were there. The explosion could be heard from other planets when people were so excited.
I think another part about kind of this overarching story that is so amazing, and your chemistry and your friendships together, is that you recorded together, right, in the studio. Yeah. How did that not only affect your performances, but also your relationships?
Daniel, how about you, man? Because I remember when you were first in there, it was so exciting for us to have you there, but you were like, just like, this is so cool, because you probably hadn't done like recording in the round for voiceover like that.
No, it was my very first time really being on something like that. And it was kind of weird because although I'd already been a part of the original family of Star Wars, coming into your guys' family, you guys were such a tight bond, but you welcomed me with open arms. And then having everybody, it was like we were sitting like this, but we're standing. And you would say your lines, then I would say my lines, and then if you guys had a line, you would say your lines, and then we'd go back and forth. So it made it very smooth, and that's why if you watch the Clone Wars, like other cartoon animations, they're actually doing it in sound booth by themselves, where Dave Filoni and Lucasfilm, they had us doing it all together. So we're able to feed off everybody's energy and the way they delivered lines, and they're like, hey, let's try something else. And then when she put me in a box. But, so yeah, basically, it was a wonderful family to be able to be reintroduced to, and you guys were so loving, and it was just wonderful to be able to get back in the boots of Boba Fett. But with a character like Boba Fett, you know, he's had such a passionate following for so many years that I knew that if I messed this up, I would end up in the Sarlacc pit of the Star Wars fans.
Yeah, it was read like a radio play, and what you're saying, all of us together, it's kind of rare. Seems like especially now, you know, since like COVID, and a lot of us have home studios and stuff. But it was essential, like for stuff that was like the banter, you know, for me between Anakin and Obi Wan or Anakin and Ahsoka. That banter, like to have them right there, and you can hear each other, and how this, each time we read it changes slightly. It's so valuable.
There's a lot that you can problem solve as a cast, because especially with a show like with the Clone Wars, they're very prepared with how this thing is going to go. The script has been worked on for months, and the show is actually blocked out roughly, and they're very specific on what they think this is going to be. But that said, if you're in the record with an ensemble, there's little nuances that come out that need to be changed this way or that way, or dropped out or modified, and you can do that very efficiently and much more easily when the cast and the ensemble is all there together.
Yeah, it's like Nika and I have worked on so many things through the years. We've been like brother and sister, we've been all these things. But then Obi Wan and Ventress in the room together in those first episodes, you'll have to do better than that, my darling. And then she'd come back at me with that amazing voice. What's the inspiration?
The inspiration for the character?
Ventress, yeah.
Well, I was talking about this yesterday because I felt like she was a mix of so many things and had such an incredible backstory of darkness, but then she also had this intelligence, and I sort of felt like she was sort of like an old school villain in a way, but with a different kind of depth. But the thing is, working with this cast also just lifted up what you could do. There was so much support in the room. It's not like working on, you know, an on-camera show where it felt Hollywood. It was like just a bunch of people who really supported each other. And I think that also sort of like, I don't know, like working with you, James, just sort of kind of gave a poetry to what I was doing, and sort of like, it came out of, I didn't think about it, it just came out. It was natural. It was like, you know, there was never a bad session. And the thing is that everybody just worked off of each other like a poem. Yeah. And that's what was so beautiful, and we don't get to have that anymore. But I think, and also just working with Dave, you know, he was this artist that was sketching this thing, and you know, it was like, you know, I always talk about Dave in sessions, because you know, we're usually voiceover people. You know, we go and do a session, we can get an episode done in like 20 minutes, but not if you're working with Dave. If you're working with Dave, it takes 4 hours. Because in between everything is a story.
Yeah.
It's like you're looking at it and you're watching him paint his canvas, you know, of everything. And so, anyway, because of all of those things, I think I was inspired to, although I, you know, had this idea of who I wanted her to be, as we went along and we all got to have this experience together, it just came out naturally. Like, I didn't even think about it. She came about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's wonderful. I love Ventress.
Ventress is one of my very favorite Star Wars characters of all, and I think she deserves her own series. I think that would be... Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be really awesome.
And she needs a Funko Pop, too.
Yes, there's no Ventress Funko Pop. What is going on with the world?
Is that how it works? First the Funko Pop, then the series? Is the series first, then the Funko Pop?
Yeah, we need to make like videos of and send to Funko. I'm gonna do it right now. Okay, let's do that. All right. Okay. Hello there, Funko. I'm here with Nika Futterman, Ventress, and some of our closest friends. And they all want a Ventress Funko Pop. Okay. We'll see what happens. I'll put that. They don't care. They're not going to listen to me, but you know.
I think it's going to work. I feel like it's good strategy.
Use the force. Force them to do it.
We're going to jump to fan questions in a second, so if people want to line up at the microphone. But one last question, which is, talking about your characters who are...
The entire audience gets up and behind the microphone.
We're seeing more of your characters or shades of your characters show up in live action. If you could see one aspect of your character cross over to that side of the Star Wars universe, what would you like to see?
Man, Daniel, you've seen so much of Boba. He's on every front, man. Animated and live action. Dee, what about Rex or something?
But, clarify the question. What's exactly the question?
What's a character or an aspect of one of your characters that you'd like to see in live action?
Well, all of it. I mean, the clones deserve to live in all realms. More clones. Do a Bad Batch series. Do it all. And more Funkos, too. There's plenty of those. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these shows and these characters live beautifully in the on-camera world. That's where they came from. And it's interesting to me that there's an economy of storytelling that the televised versions and the animated versions sort of imposes on that with a shorter story format. But still, I mean, it's really gratifying just to see this really confident creative engine that Disney has taken with the Star Wars that George Lucas had and spinning it in all of these different really cool and interesting ways that I think they all coexist beautifully for me, you know, from the young Jedi tales all the way to Andor. I mean, it's very stylistically and tonally very different, but it's all Star Wars, and for me, it all lives together beautifully.
I have a quick question for you guys. Did you ever figure out where the cricket was in the studio?
Ask Dee.
I heard it earlier, this right before we went on. There it is.
He would do this when we were in the studio, and I'd be like, what? I didn't realize it was Dee after like my final scene.
Messing around.
Very impressive. Hi, what's your name and what's your question?
Okay, so I'm Jer, but my question is coming from my daughter who's back at home in Kansas City. I already know the answer to this, and she disagrees with me. She refers to Obi Wan as the sass master.
Yes.
I say that Ventress is the ultimate when it comes to snark, and nobody will ever beat her. But my daughter would like to know if Ashley and James and Matt would do an impromptu snark fest at each other to determine who is the sassiest between the three.
First of all, can you guys not see why Anakin turned? He's dealing with sassy and snippy. What other options? It was a better option.
Well, Master, you're always late. I mean, Obi-Wan and I always have to wait for you.
So true, yes.
I don't know. It seems like Padme always wants your attention.
Yes, what's going on
But we
there?
need your attention.
They were busy.
right?
They were just talking back then. There was nothing going on.
You mean Senator Amidala?
Well, I hope you told her I said hello there. Tell Lily we said hello there as well. All right, that's your daughter, right, Lily? Yes.
question.
Hello, my name is Sarai, and my question is, what was your most favorite or your most challenging line to record?
Way to go quick. Anybody got one?
Well, I mean, for me, my favorite might be my most challenging, which was Text Farewell. Yeah, we buzzed around that for a while and finally recorded, but that was hard, and probably the death of Fives was also very. I mean, it's just like I really like those moments. I love them. They're really meaningful and deeply sad, but they're also just you know, it's challenging but beautiful. It's good writing. It's good storytelling.
For me, probably the stuff with Darth Maul in Siege of Mandalore, because I wanted to put a lot more emotion in it. So I wanted to say, like, your vision is flawed. But Dave wanted it to be much more internal, like, your vision is flawed. And he was right. He was right, but it took several takes to get there.
I would say saying "then you will die" to Ashley was a really interesting.
To Ahsoka.
Well, yes. That was something that
was at photo ops.
That was something that was foreign to me, you know, because we had spent so many years being buddies, and that was a weird moment.
It was weird. It was sad.
You were the chosen one. You can kill me, but you'll never destroy me. It takes strength to resist the dark side. Only the weak embrace it. And it was hard because as I was reading that, I was reading ahead in the script. That's what we kind of do. And then that was the first time I realized what was about to happen with Satine. I did not know that when I walked in the room. Anna was the only one that knew. So when you hear Obi-Wan go, Satine, under his breath, that's me reading going, Satine. No. And then they use it. Oh, that's good, Dave. Yeah, that's good. Let's put that in there.
Filoni had the high ground. Wait, but what did Ventress say to the clone?
Oh gosh, when she
that she kills and then kisses him. It's a
that was edited out of the original. When it was on Cartoon Network, they actually cut that out. Ventress force pulls a clone with her lightsaber, stabs him, and then kisses him. And Cartoon Network went, yeah, maybe we're gonna leave that out.
She says something there, I can't remember what it was.
I think she says fatality.
Maybe she just says, oops. Which isn't difficult.
Mine would probably be, I got a couple. We had the Anya season that obviously didn't air, unfortunately, where I had the duel with Cad Bane. Bane? I don't know where that came from, but I really like the line, I want to kill the Jedi that murdered, I want to murder the Jedi, I want to kill the Jedi that murdered my father. And I think it just really brought a lot of passion and full story to Boba Fett really never ever stopped being revengeful to this one Jedi in particular who he saw murder his father at obviously at such a young age.
That's a very good answer. Thank you for your question. Hi, what's your name and what's your question?
Wesker. My question is, what is your favorite duel in the series? Lightsaber duel.
Okay, I'll start. I feel like you have to say Ahsoka and Vader. I mean, we were waiting for that. I don't know if we were waiting for it, but we all knew that eventually it was going to happen. So emotionally, I would say that. I think the choreography of the Ahsoka and Maul fight was unbelievable.
I always liked when Ventress and Obi-Wan had a little... sorry, red's not my color, though. Yeah, I liked that. And we traded lightsabers there, but yeah.
I really loved the lightsaber duel between Palpatine and the Maul brothers. was like, this guy really scares me now. It's like the opposite side of when Yoda starts jumping around, and is going after Christopher Plummer.
Count Dooku.
Right, I guess Dooku. But it's that Palpatine is really revealed that this vicious panther that has no problem dispatching with these two really formidable fellows. It was that one really knocked me out.
Hi, what's your name and what's your question?
Hi, I'm Brittany. So you all obviously love your characters. You guys have fallen in love with them. Have you ever thought about doing say a what if series? So what if your character were to do something different or turn or have a different alternative reality, I guess?
Like what happens if my character was turned female?
I mean,
called Omega? What the hell happened? There was only one chosen clone.
My daughter's name is Mandy Lorianne, based off of your character, and as well.
Oh my God, you got me tattooed on your arm.
I do, sir.
That never gets old.
But if you were to have an alternate universe, where would you want to see your characters go?
We talked about this before, right?
Yeah, just still rolling in the fields on Naboo, probably. It's so sweet. Great family,
No sand.
I mean, who wouldn't love an Anakin Padme romance novel? Wouldn't that be good?
I don't want to see that.
I still hope that there's room for, we go back in time and tell the Duchess Satine and Obi Wan.
What about Ahsoka and Obi Wan join Anakin on the dark side?
No, I don't like that idea at all. I will say, I want to also see the story that Dave Filoni used to tease us with about Ahsoka and Plo Koon. So I voiced Jedi Master Plo Koon as well, and Koto-ya, little Ahsoka. I'd like to see how he got it, and that should be animated, and we have to be in it.
Who would be the tooth Sith that survive? Because there's only two, right? So who would it be?
Oh, shoot.
Obviously, Maul, he gets cut in half 3,000 times.
That's one.
How many more legs can we give him now? Sorry about that, guys.
Thank you so much for your question. Hi, what's your name and what's your question?
Hello, my name is Eileen. This question is mainly for Dee, but obviously it's for everyone. You were there at the beginning, right, playing the clones, and now that Bad Batch has wrapped up, how do you feel about what is basically the end of the Clone Wars era as far as animation style? Because it hits us really hard.
Well, yes. I mean, it seems like the end of the Clone Wars, but and in a sense that's true. It's kind of like the escape pod from Clone Wars, landed on the planet and they got out and they finished a series, and that's finished, and they even take it into the future there. But with Star Wars, you can go forwards, you can go backwards, you can go sideways, and there are other tales to tell. I mean, for me, you can tell any number of clone stories you want going back to the Clone Wars or before the Clone Wars, or even how about what do Rex and Gregor and Wolf do? We saw them together there briefly towards the end. It's like, well, we know they get back together, and it's like, so where how do you connect the dots there?
They start a band. Cody
jumps in there too, but it's there's all kinds of stories that I think could still be told.
Like your brother Boba Fett coming to meet the Bad Batch. Whatever happened there?
Oh, but Bad Batch. Yeah, there you go. And you can make a Funko Pop about that too.
Really Bad Batch.
I'm like the only character they haven't made a Funko of.
Oh, my character too.
Well, I've been around for 20,000 years.
They're like, oh, he's in the Attack Clones, no Funko. Oh, Clone Wars, no Funko. Oh, he's in the Bad Batch, I could never get him box Funko.
All right, I'll make another video.
Yeah, come on, thank you.
So everyone remember to tweet at them today.
I guess I was kind of fishing for, are we going to see Rex and the boys in a spin-off clone?
Do you really think he could tell you?
You know how quickly I'd be assassinated now? Having broken the trust tree already? Way back when? I couldn't tell you that if I knew it, but I'm telling you that I don't know. But I'm not, but as you see, we're not the first ones to know of this kind of stuff. They could be developing it for a year or two, and then they're
Funko would know.
We're saying that we want it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I hope so.
So what's your name and what's your question?
My name is Baron, and my question is, if you could make a Star Wars short film, what would it be about?
I like that, Barry. That's very good. Man. What would you do? Do you know what you would do if you did a short? Is there a character you would love to see? Obi Wan Kenobi, maybe? Maybe Obi-Wan.
I know I would make a short film about the Night Sisters.
And they form a band.
On the road with the Night Sisters, baby.
I want to know, and I'd love for it to be animated if possible, when Ahsoka finally meets Luke. And obviously we know she does, but when it actually happens, we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah. Does that satisfy your needs there, Baron? No. Anakin, you got anything for him?
This question was for everyone.
All right, guys. We were trying to stall for them to think of stuff, you know?
He's snippy. I like him.
Joke's over. Let's move on. I was gonna say I deal with it everywhere I go.
The end. Really, you know what? I think they've done so great with bringing all these different characters back to life, and you know, I think anything they do, short, long, whatever, it's great. I mean, we just saw some short stories of young Ahsoka, you know, getting some background and more in depth of, you know, young Ahsoka and stuff like that from a baby. So you never know what they're working on. Dee, blink twice if you know anything.
I'd want to. No, I'll be assassinated. I'd want to see a 6-minute nature documentary on the habits of tauntauns.
And what would that sound like, Dee?
Here we see the mother tauntaun foraging for its young in the snow. There's my 6-minute movie. I'd love to see
Baron, thank you so much. That was a great question.
Double thumbs up.
So what's your name and what's your question?
My name is Eleanor, and I would like to ask, what is your guys' least favorite Clone Wars episode?
You can answer that.
Yeah. Mine is my favorite and my least favorite at the same time. And it's called The Lawless, and it's in episode season 5. It's my favorite because it's the most beautiful, poetic one.
That came from the depths of your soul.
Awesome. Can you come with me everywhere I go? But it's my least favorite because, spoiler alert, the Duchess. Sad too. Are you filming that? Did you get that?
I think there should be a Funko Pop of you.
With a pull string on the back.
Yes!
I will say I think our least, it's hard to have a least favorite because we love it all. So I'm going to say the least favorite is the last one because none of us wanted it to end.
That's why we take her with us everywhere.
I'll say my least favorite, I'll say the most difficult for me to think about or to watch through would be the Umbara arc on Clone Wars. That was really tough for me to do, and I brought it home, and it felt bad in a way that other shows didn't for me, and that was tough. So that's my tough one.
I say Mortis is my favorite, but it could also be my not favorite because it's so weird, and I still don't really know what happened, and they don't really talk about it ever again, and it just hurt my brain a little bit.
How many people think it was a dream? Anybody?
You guys remember
One
that?
or two?
That arc?
Because it's always questionable, was it a dream or not? And we didn't know in the studio if it was. There you go.
My least favorite was the one that they started rolling the ending scroll on. I had a whole season coming out after that one. And I was sitting around waiting for my big time to shine, and next minute I see rolling credits, and I said, what the hell? This isn't happening. Clone Wars. There's a Tom Kane. Next week on the Clone Wars, Daniel Logan is back. And they're like, directed by George Lucas and created. I'm like, what the hell is happening? So I called up Lucasfilm. I said, I think you guys did something wrong on this last episode. They're like, what do you mean? I said, I saw rolling credits. Oh yeah, we're done. What? What do you mean we're done? We haven't even got my episodes. Yeah, sorry, unfortunately it's done. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I worked so hard on all those episodes.
So sorry. Let's all huddle in. Come on.
Yeah, so that was pretty suckful, I'm not gonna lie.
Did you say suckful?
Suckful.
That's gonna be in the next episode. That was very suckful. That's Wizard! That was pretty depressing, I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
Next question. Stuck me in a box.
The same thing happened to me.
I at least like
Same thing happened to me. It was like all of a sudden we got to see Asajj, like what she was going to turn into, you know, and she was like this bounty hunter, and she had this whole storyline, and I was so excited about it, and then, boop, dead.
Give these guys a Funko.
We're a Funko in real life. That's where you don't get one.
Needs a Funko.
I was this little boy who trusted all of these adult females, and they turned against me every time. No wonder I'm in therapy. So Danny, what do you want to talk about today? Well, my dad got his head chopped off, and these women put me in a box, and another one came to this, and they tried to steal my ship.
I knew it'd be different if we did one with Daniel. I said, usually it's just the three of us. I thought it'd be a different panel.
It is fun. I'm loving
Sorry,
it.
guys, I won't be invited next time. As I come up, there'll be a rolling scroll about.
Thank you so much for your question.
One more thing.
More? You want more?
One second. It's really quick. Can one of you give something to Dave Filoni for me?
We don't have his number. It doesn't get in our calls anymore. The scroll, remember?
The short answer is unfortunately no.
Oh, dang. Okay. Thank you. Anyways.
Hi, what's your name and what's your question?
Hi, I'm Amber, and someone already asked my question, but I made up a new one, and so were there any turns in the story that really surprised you or broke your heart, or that you just really weren't ready for?
Satine.
That one broke my heart too.
I would say Ahsoka leaving the Jedi Order. I was not ready for that. Definitely broke my heart. But I also think it's kind of what saved her life in the end. So, and you look amazing.
I was kind of surprised when Anakin turned into Darth Vader.
Yeah, see, he wasn't a fan before. He had...
It was a little surprising to me.
I was surprised when the old clones came back.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Out there in their little fishing trawler in the desert. And yeah, that one shocked me in a pleasant way.
The Rolling Scroll. That sucked.
Suckful.
Suckful, sorry, suckful.
That was-
Sorry, that wasn't Wizard. Hello there.
Goodbye there.
Nika, do you have one?
Oh, gosh. No, I have more like I was surprised. Rolling Scroll. That was a surprise for me. No, I was thinking just more about the things that didn't happen that I was surprised, like two particular people hooking up.
Oh. It always
Phew,
seemed
I got
like
out of that one.
before they introduced Satine, didn't it always seem like there was going to be something with Ventress and
Always
Obi?
seemed like it to me.
Yeah. Would have been
Have you
fun.
heard of fan fiction?
Thank you so much for your question.
Thank you,
I think we
guys.
have time for one more. So what's your name and what's your question?
My name's Jason, and I have to say, is there an echo in here? Also, I want to say, Matt Lanter, I want to say thank you for giving us one of the best moments in Star Wars since Empire Strikes Back when you say, then you will die. That sends a chill down my spine every time I hear it.
Oh yeah, thanks. What a cool creative idea to have to layer my voice with James Earl Jones, and so cool and so confusing for Ahsoka and confusing for the audience. And is she hearing Anakin? Is she hearing Darth Vader? Is he baiting her? Is he actually kind of trying to reach out to her? Yeah, it was a really special moment. Very, very short and sweet.
Anyway, outside of Star Wars, what other sci-fi franchises do you like? And fantasy. It's Lord of the Rings for me.
Nice.
Live long and prosper.
I grew up watching Turtles and X-Men.
Bonus power!
You know, I was Leonardo. Did you know that I was Leonardo the Ninja Turtle?
Yeah.
Oh, really? You didn't know that?
I knew that.
I'm signing at the table over there.
If I have time, I'll hop in your line.
Well, just don't get in her line.
You'll be there forever.
I love Narnia, Marvel, Doctor Who.
As a kid, I was really into Planet of the Apes and Star Trek, and then I finally fell in with Lord of the Rings as well. Before Star Wars hit me in the face.
I love actual Dragon Ball Z. That's all I watched.
I would say my one obsession, I'm repeating what Dee just said, I'm a huge Planet of the Apes fan.
Fun fact, if you go see the new one that's just coming out, I did some ape sounds in there. I was so excited. Just some ook-ooks and that kind of stuff. But I was so very excited. It looks like a great movie, but for me it's just like I loved those movies when I was a kid, and to be a part of it, it's just very exciting.
Thank you, and Dee, this is for you. Please take great care of your voices, all of you.
Thank you so much for your question, and thank you all for being such a wonderful audience. We're going to do